Hello and welcome to Vibing Out, the B-side, where we get a little more formal and talk about the hard truths about the music and film industry. I'm your host, Rob Jackson. In this week's episode, we will hear from local musician and filmmaker Peter Renzullo with a music video from indie band the Azee Mansfield Band, and get to learn more about the Perth rock scene with Perth Rocks Festival. But for now, the top music news this week. Did the duo band Beeftek's album titled 2020 that was released two decades ago predict the future? The 20-year-old album featured songs such as Machines Work and others that all revolved around themes of artificial intelligence and machines becoming the working force of society. The two artists commented on the similarities in their lyrics and the world of 2020 on the album's 20th anniversary, stating that some of the predictions had indeed come to pass. Listen out for their next album whenever it may drop and get a look into the years ahead. Noongar musician Phil Wally-Stack and orchestra combined to lift spirits during COVID crisis. Phil Wally-Stack's and the Perth Symphony Orchestra both had tours cancelled due to COVID restrictions, and so decided to team together as a fusion of Noongar rock and classical music, spreading it throughout regional Western Australia. Phil himself commented to the media about his increase of anxiety and mental health risks during COVID, and so wanted to create a cathartic experience for everyone to be able to escape their lives and indulge in music. Now, the tour will take place in Bunbury, Moora, Northam, Kalamunda, Geraldton and Albany. The shows are mainly free, with some by donation, although each will be ticketed to assist with numbers and COVID tracing if necessary. So, if you can get there, it is a music fusion you don't want to miss. Now, COVID couldn't stop the 2020 National Indigenous Music Awards from going ahead completely online this August. The National Indigenous Music Awards are recognised as one of Australia's most prominent Indigenous music awards and have been celebrating Australian music for 16 years, with 2020's winners going above and beyond to make the night as special as possible, despite being 100% online. Northern Territory rapper and former Young Australian of the Year, Baker Boy, won the coveted Artist of the Year award at this year's event, also winning Song of the Year for Medicine and Film Clip of the Year for the same single. Whilst accepting the award, he said, "I'm so proud to represent my people and so overwhelmed by the support and success I have achieved rapping in Yolnga Martha and English." Now, if you are interested in the best talent Australia can produce, definitely check out the National Indigenous Music Awards website for their list of award winners. K-pop band BTS's Love Myself campaign was integrated campaigns and events honour at 2020 UNICEF Inspire Awards. According to the Korean Times, the campaign, which promotes self-acceptance and mental health, was voted the winner due to its wide range of work, including fighting for children's rights, fundraising and raising awareness. The campaign was started in 2017 along with the End Violence movement to curb child abuse. The award is in recognition of the most influential UNICEF campaigns internationally, and the awards were selected based on online voting by the organisation's staff worldwide and panel of judges. The Korean boy band is continuing to raise money and awareness for human rights issues globally and deserve the almost cult-like following they have worldwide. And now for the final news today before we show you all about the Perth Rocks Festival. Neil Young is suing Donald Trump for using his music at campaign rallies. Neil Young is taking the US president to court over Trump's refusal to stop playing their songs at his rallies. And he isn't the only artist displeased by Trump's song selection. Guns N' Roses, Queen, Ozzy Osbourne, Adele, Pharrell Williams and many more have also expressed their disapproval of Trump selecting their music for his events. Now, Neil is taking Trump to court with the accusation of copyright infringements for using the song "Rockin' in the Free World" at public events, with his lawyers stating Neil Young is in good conscience cannot allow his music to be used as a theme song for a divisive, un-American campaign of ignorance and hate. Young is seeking a maximum of $150,000 US per infringement. But watch this space for any further information on the case. And now, that is the music news for this week. We do the research, so you don't have to. After this video about Perth Rock Festival, we will be interviewing Peter Renzullo about his music and film work. We'll see you after the break.
My name is California Inferi and I am the promoter of the Perth Rocks Festival and the lead singer of Perth rock and roll band Jackson Coke. The Perth Rocks Festival is a 15-band, 2-stage rock and roll extravaganza that takes place at the Civic Hotel in Inglewood. Young and old will be there. It's quite an eclectic bunch of people. People who dress like I do, people who just dress normally, but we all have one thing in common. We enjoy rock and roll and we enjoy drinking a cold beer. The inspiration behind the idea of the Perth Rocks Festival was the fact that there are a lot of institutions and publications, promoters, and local festivals that seem to sleep on the rock scene in Perth. I am one person that's certainly a strong voice for the rock scene, and I wanted to start this festival so I could prove to all of those people, all of those naysayers, that this genre of music is still alive and well. Some of the bands on the bill for this year. Well, we've got Full Scale, who are making their return to stage after a hiatus. It's their 20th anniversary. So they're going to be putting on a big show for their 20th anniversary. We've got Ragdoll, who are one of the best hard rock bands in the last 10 years in Perth, along with Hail Mary, another really strong hard rock band. My band, Jackson Coke, will be on the bill. Among many others, I could, run down the list all day. There's 15 of them, so, but that's just a few of the acts that you're going to see at the Perth Rocks Festival. Is absolutely electric. It felt like Disneyland. You wake up Christmas morning and there's that electricity in the air. Memories about to be made that are going to last a lifetime, and that's what happened last year, and that's what we're going to do again this year. Tickets are only $25 for the Perth Rocks Festival. That's 15 bands, 2 stages, and it's going to be one of the shows of the year.
Hello and welcome back to Vibing Out. On the couch with me here, I have local filmmaker and musician Peter Renzullo. Peter, welcome to the couch.
Pleasure,
Thanks
sir.
for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Now, Peter, could you please just tell me a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a musician by trade. So I've got a recording studio. I've done some score writing for film, and I've been in a few bands here and there. But I'm also ventured recently into filmmaking. So that's my newest, I suppose, passion, if you want to call it that. It's been awesome fun.
So just a whole lot of anything creative you enjoy?
Absolutely, love it.
So what was the first instrument you learned to play?
On guitar. Actually, when I was 11 years old, and I remember just driving through Midland, and I just suddenly decided to ask my dad, can I learn guitar? And he could play some chords, so I learned from him. And I taught myself for about a year, just some basic stuff. Went to my first lesson the year afterwards, and I thought the teacher was going to say, you know what, I can't teach you anymore. You know, you're everything you know already.
Right.
And then, of course, he put me in my place pretty easily. And I just started really loving the learning process, and I spent years doing it. Went to university with it, and then started teaching for years. Then the recording studio after that.
So you teach guitar?
Yep.
And is that your favourite instrument to play?
It is.
Yep.
Yeah. I've always had an affinity with it. Just love it.
Right. Do you have a preferred genre of music?
I used to have rock, being in bands and being an angsty teen, you know.
Yep.
But then I went into score writing with my production work, and I just found that I was just in love with the orchestral stuff. So there's no real specific genre I'm drawn to these days. It tends to be a mixture of styles, but usually backed up with an orchestra. So like from sound production, I do a lot of that stuff, and I just love the fact that it's so diverse.
See, I've heard that a few times, and it's myself as well, is I don't actually like a certain genre of music. I like a song, and if a song appeals to me, then it appeals to me. It could be a rock song or it could be anything.
Absolutely.
So you're the same, you just like the music or the song for what it is?
Absolutely, and also through my studio work, I get artists in from hip-hop right through to metal artists, so I tend to be drawn to a certain style depending on what I'm producing at the time. So it changes from day to day.
Right, so now you're saying you've composed some music for films?
Yep, for films, yep.
How have you found that experience? Is that something you really enjoy?
It's a whole new field of creation, because I find that I'm using visuals to help me get a certain emotion across or enhance what's already there visually. So my purpose for writing is changed. As opposed to just writing a song because I wanted to, I now have a purpose to make this scene heightened from an emotional point of view.
It's amazing what sound does to a film.
It can
just
transform
one scene. Yeah, absolutely. So now tell me, how did you get into filmmaking in the first place?
Well, I started off as a composer. So I've done some composing for certain filmmakers around town. It started in 2014 doing composing, and then I ventured into music video production, just a natural fit from going from studio work into filmmaking, producing music videos, and then actual filmmaking started in 2017. So it's fairly recent compared to other stuff.
Right, okay. So now, look, we've got one of your trailers for your new feature film. The feature film is called Skylight.
That's right.
Caroline's Tale.
Yep.
So let's watch this together, and we'll talk a bit more about it afterwards.
Lovely.
Have I got a story to tell you?
You promised me.
Please. Don't make me do this, Caroline.
Please.
I know a lot of you regular visitors to this theatre have come here tonight expecting to see the usual light-hearted performances that we love to present in this fine establishment. But tonight, my friends, not tonight. Tonight is going to get real dark. You may remember the tragic events surrounding Caroline Edwards, the young woman who found herself in the murderous clutches of a monster who would end up taking her life to prevent her from exposing his murderous past. Tonight, we present that story in all its reprehensible glory. We have recruited two of our finest performers to play the parts of those reclusive lovers.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
Jesus, Bonnie. Look, I'm not telling you what to do. Just wake up to yourself.
I've done it a million times. I know what I'm doing.
Like hell you do.
I followed you last night. I saw what you did.
Do you have any idea what they would do to me if they found out?
What will you do? If I tell,
Don't ask me that. Please.
I want it to be you. Please. I do it for you, my love.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honour to present to you this fine evening Skylight, Caroline's Tale.
Wow. Looks great, Pete.
Thanks so much.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I was saying to you earlier, it's good to be able to follow a film, watching the visuals, and the visuals on that film look amazing.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, great
Thank
shots. So can you tell us a bit about the film as well?
Yeah, it started off as a concept album, which I wrote back in 2014. So
Yep.
I just wanted to produce an album of different styles of music and use different singers to sing the certain songs. And that's built into me creating it into a film script. That follows a certain story. This follows this person, Caroline, and her story. And then it evolves from there. And then we just decided to go all out and make a film out of this because my first feature film was done 2017. And I got the bug for it, so I wanted to make this one here my next big one, which is going to be a whole new level.
Oh, fantastic. And we can get to see this one, Skylight, Caroline Style, we can get to see that?
Oh, of course,
Yep.
yeah. It's going to do the film festival circuit, and then it's
Yep.
going to go on Amazon Prime, online everywhere, and hopefully even on DVD.
Fantastic. And you just mentioned your first feature film?
Yes.
That was called?
Anticipation.
And when was that made?
That was made 2017 to 2019 because I did the whole thing myself. I was
Right.
cinematographer, sound, a boom operator, caterer, everything. So it was a big project. That took a long time to do.
Right. So just to keep busy, you thought you'd
totally,
do the whole
yeah.
lot.
That's
So
right.
how was that experience? Did you enjoy that?
That was my induction into filmmaking. So
Right.
I thought, well, I could go study this or I could just make a film and see what happens. And it was awesome. I'm so glad I did it.
So it sounds like you've done everything on the film set
Yes,
yourself.
as far as roles, yeah.
What do you prefer out of all of those roles that you played? What was your favourite?
During production, I love being behind the camera,
Right.
which I know is a bit of a strange one because I am legally blind. But I do love the post-production too because I'm a sound designer by trade. I just love having raw footage, nothing behind it, and just creating this soundscape that just brings it to life. I love it.
Oh, fantastic. Now, you just mentioned then that you're legally blind.
Yes.
And you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Now, it's amazing to think that we all have problems and stuff in life, but to get out there and just make films like you do, being legally blind,
Yep.
And it's predominantly visual.
Yes.
How have you found that? Have you found, obviously there are some challenges, but
Yes.
what are the main challenges you've faced during that?
Well, the obvious one has been seeing what I'm doing. Now, to people who don't know much about filmmaking, they don't understand a lot about the camera science. There's things called focus peaking, which is where you have like this harsh green or red outline of what's in focus. So I can see a screen an inch away from my face, and I can see what's in focus by just that outline peaking. So that's what I'm using to see what's in focus. I can't actually see what the image is doing. So
right.
I'm hoping my cast is doing their job right, and then it just happens to work out.
Right.
So that's the biggest challenge. But I'm a storyteller by trade. I love script writing. I love that part of it. So for me, the challenge is making sure I'm shooting everything in focus. And that focus peaking is a lifesaver for me. I wouldn't be able to do it without it.
So the true trust of being in the entertainment industry, trusting the director, trusting the filmmakers, you've got that mutual trust with your cast,
Absolutely.
with your crew, and that makes you able to do what you do and
does.
do very well, like we just saw there.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely brilliant shots that we just saw
Thank you so
then.
much. It's a joy.
So what's coming up in the future for you then? What do you think you're looking at next? As far as you've got 2 films out there anyway, 2
Yes.
major feature films,
Yep.
which are going to join the festivals. What's next for you?
I'm loving this avenue of filmmaking.
Yep.
So I've actually got 2 other feature film scripts written, ready to go.
Right.
So
okay.
I'm hoping the next 5 years of my creative life is set up, ready to go. But I'm also still operating with the recording studio, still doing that full time, and I do have a lot of composing work for other filmmakers as well. So
Right.
it's just great to be on either side of the fence of all those parts of the filmmaking industry.
Right. See, I find it's very inspiring hearing your story, knowing that you just go forward and get things done. You play music, you teach music.
Yep.
It's a fantastic medium to be in, like anything to do with the creative side. And I think it's very inspiring, and it's a pleasure to have you on the couch here today.
Thanks so
Now,
much.
do you have any of your favourite, between working in film and music, what would you prefer out of film and music?
Well, I love the marrying of film and music together. I think it just gives music a whole different, I suppose, avenue to exist in. So I love scores, I love composing. So that side of it is more attractive to me as a creator than just purely writing songs like for a band or something.
Right.
Which I've done for a couple of decades, and I still love. But this is just a whole new level that I'm really enjoying.
So do you play other instruments, or is it mainly
I
the
do.
guitar?
Guitar's my principal instrument,
Right,
but
yeah.
I play a bit of keyboard. I'm a mandolin player as well.
Oh, nice.
Funny enough.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
And a bit of drums, but I'm not a drummer by any stretch. But I use it for recording, so it gets me by.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. I mean, you can do anything these days with computers,
that's it.
can't you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, out of all the movies, what is your favourite movie to end on? We're going to end on this one for you, and we normally ask our guests on the couch what their favourite movie is.
Sure. For me,
What
it's
was
actually a tie between Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and The Big Lebowski, both by Coen brothers. So I find them I love the way they tell their stories, and those two, I have an affinity for them, and they got me really into wanting to make films by watching those two.
Fantastic. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I like that film myself. Okay, now, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for. Now, we're going to finish off by this vibing out episode to The Things I Dream by the Azee Mansfield Band. So we're going to watch them right now. amazing show. Thanks for vibing out with us. That's good, man. Yeah.
About 4 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's right. I think so. I didn't really... Yeah, it sounded about like close on anyway.
There you go.